All right, guys, Nancy Pelosi just released brand new buys and sells. This is her return, 700+% compared to the SPY's this purple line, just 200%. So she's a great trader. This is her husband in Bloomberg, $5 million gain from Alphabet. She's making the most of her government position. We might as well make the most of the information that they have to file. Here's the filing. It's not super pretty. So we're going to look at a more streamlined version, which is on this website. And breaking news, there is this Bitcoin strategic reserve bill. Assuming this is real, it's literally on the senate.gov website. And it looks like they're going to be buying Bitcoin. So this could be very good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is having a little bit of a crash right now. This is right before Tuesday. You're going to want to watch this before Tuesday morning because it's possible that this could rebound, but man, it's been really volatile and it's looking like MicroStrategy might gap down Tuesday, 4 a.m. So I'm long it. I'm probably going to wake up at 4 a.m. to take a look at that. But getting back to the long term, you're not worried about Bitcoin right now, and it's an exciting time for Bitcoin. Here are the trades. She sold Apple. This makes a ton of sense. She's a great trader, obviously, and she sold it. It's not a great buy right now. It's her biggest sell as well. So if we sort this by transaction size, you can see there 5 to 25 million sorted by 5. We can see the rest of the things she did. She sold Nvidia as well back early January. So December 31st, actually, she sold Apple basically right near the top. It's incredible. Also sold Nvidia pretty, close, right in the year. She sort of predicted that this wouldn't break out. So this trader is on fire, Senator Pelosi. And there are some other trades laid out here that are super helpful. There's this community note. The trades were not made on inauguration day, but in December and up to January 14th. We have that here. We have the information here. Just saying that because this is kind of breaking news, but it kind of makes it look like it came out and she made all these trades based on inauguration statements, which she didn't. So, but these are the trades: 100K in Tempest AI call options. That's TEM. $1 million in VST call options. 500K in Google calls. 500K in Nvidia calls. And let's take a look. So, VST. It looks pretty good, actually. It was sort of looking like a double top here for a second. It was pretty much the strongest stock in the market, and it's held up. So this could be a pretty awesome buy. Notes on VST: they did have this fire breaking out at their California plant, and they had a little pre-market fail there for 5%. So it was looking like a double top short here, but it's breaking out. It's holding. You can see I actually tried to short it. Here's where the fire happened here, but it rebounded sharply. So she's long VST. I'm not sure I want to be shorting VST. So there you go. She brought about, just a tiny amount, actually. Just 50 calls. But, still want to look at strike price $50 for 2026 January. So, basically, in the money calls. I wouldn't get too excited about this trade, honestly. But just the fact that she's doing it anything at all related to VST, like who knows exactly why she's doing this. This point is actually really good. A lot of these are pretty common stocks to invest in, pretty mild. But we're in the age of potential shit coins. It doesn't matter anymore. We still want to pay attention to what she's doing, even if this particular set of trades is not wild speculation. This guy as well is noting that, these are just some disclaimers. You don't know the exit. These are option contracts. For all we know, she's in and out before the 30-day disclosure was even filed. So she has to disclose within 30 days. So, no, those are a couple of notes. But even still, we know that she has great skill and we get to see her trade. So let's take a look at what else she's up to, right? Now, besides VST, there's Nvidia as well. Some all options that she purchased, but the bigger ones, if we just sort by transaction size, is this Microsoft sale. So she sold 5,000 shares. This is back in July. And major one here is this Google and this NVIDIA. So Google in particular, I want to talk about. If we look at Google right here, there's some notes that it looks amazing. 4 inside weeks in a row. What does that mean? Well, let's look at Google on weekly. It looks like it's just exploding and holding over this level. So even if we don't know exactly what she did, we know that Google's a good buy regardless. And we can see those are the weeks. So yeah, are they exactly inside weeks? Yeah, I mean, pretty much they're all inside of this candle. So yeah, basically that means it's going to contract and then explode up, probably. And I'm sure that's what she was thinking when she bought it, or when her husband bought it. It just needs to get above 200 to get the party started. 200 is totally doable. It's pretty much getting there. I mean, this thing looks explosive, guys. This looks awesome. Coming in tomorrow, definitely going to take an eye on Google. And yeah, those are the main ones: VST, Google, and TEM. TEM chart looks a little gnarly, but could be a bottom bounce here, sort of capitulation. Everyone sold who's going to sell, and it can only move up from here if it gets above this level here, 43. Then it could get super interesting. So looks strong. You can take some shares with relatively low risk or some call options, whatever you want to do. That's TEM. Lastly, NVIDIA. Little note on TEM, the lockup is concluded, so you don't have to worry about insiders selling shares. And NVIDIA 175, what does that look like? Well, it's like all-time highs, guys. So we'll see if it can recover. Is it going to recover? I mean, I'm sure it's going to recover at some point. It's just a question of how long is it going to take? What is the other big stock going to do? Tesla is looking pretty awesome. We get it next week. So those are Nancy Pelosi's trades. The most important one, I think, just looking at this, is probably honestly the Apple sell. So if you are holding Apple, if you're thinking of buying Apple, I would get out of that. I mean, she sold 30,000 shares. So this is a big deal. And besides that, I mean, in terms of transaction size, well, we can see that NVIDIA sell was the next biggest one, and the most recent. So she sold a bunch of shares. She's pretty much out of NVIDIA, it looks like. And this is just relatively meaningless. Sold out of Microsoft. I wouldn't buy Microsoft either. I guess that's another takeaway from what we're seeing here. It's sort of struggling. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it looks good on a 30-day, 1 hour. It's sort of in the market, but over here, it doesn't look excellent. It's not like, okay, when you zoom out to a month, it looks great, but everything looks great when you zoom out to a month. This looks strong-ish. It just doesn't quite have the same momentum that Google has. If we go into a 1 day, it's just this could take a while. You could be sitting this forever. It has 2% moves on a day. That's basically nothing. So Google is moving 2% as well, but at least it's over this level. And basically from here to here, this is, what is this, 10%? Whereas for Microsoft, we're talking, well, it's actually 10% too. They look actually pretty similar in terms of percent-wise. So I'm going to have to just ignore everything I said about that. But in terms of this level, I think that is the clear path for Google. This level right here. It basically gapped up to, if you see any sort of gap up like this and then hold, that's super bullish. Whereas Microsoft is basically just, this channel. There was this bullish movement, but it wasn't really a gap up. This could take some time. So we'll look at news on these ones as well. Microsoft sort of does have, possible OpenAI. Sam Altman was at the inauguration, so that's probably a good sign for him, good sign for Microsoft. For Google, Sundar was at the inauguration as well. So, I mean, all the tech CEOs were at the inauguration. So there's nothing super controversial in terms of their relationship to Trump right now that could harm them. Chart-wise, Google looks great. And getting back to Pelosi, she sold Apple. That's the big deal. And look, BST, could be interesting. It is one of the strongest stocks in the market. M could be interesting if it holds that bottom bounce. So keep an eye on these stocks. They're definitely in play. TEM is not one that I would have really been looking at just because I don't like to buy stocks when they're down a bunch. Google, I've sort of talked a lot about that, why that's exciting. And then VST also, I was trying to short it, but this fire didn't seem to have an effect. It bounced right up, and it seems to be continuing strong. So this woman knows what's up. She's an excellent investor trader. Her husband is maybe doing it. Who knows? She has to report it. We get to see her report it, and we know her results. So this is the real deal, guys. This is about as insider information legally as you can get. So like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what stock you're looking at. All right. Good luck.